Hi, Dr. Mark. How are you going?
Hi, I'm very good, thank you. How about you?
It is very early, but I'm doing okay.
Well, I'm better in the early mornings, personally.
I am too, but it's been an early one already today. So,
Well, thanks for making time. I appreciate it very much.
no, thank you for speaking with me. I'm very excited to talk to you about Animal Kingdom and the
Oh, thank
show.
you.
I was just saying to Nadia, it's literally 4 years ago to the day, like literally September 16th, that I was at Animal Kingdom myself last
Oh, my
Wednesday.
goodness. Yes,
So it's a little serendipitous that we're talking about it today.
isn't it? Absolutely. Gosh. Well, I do hope we get an opportunity to welcome you back and come and see what exciting things are happening, and hopefully talk about the magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom and things you learned there too.
Yes, speaking of the show, I have to ask, how did this come about? Obviously, look behind the scenes for Disney parks is not a normal sort of thing. So how did a TV show come to be for Animal Kingdom?
Well, like a couple of things that just, the stars that seem to align. Of course, this wonderful relationship now, this partnership that we have with National Geographic, which is just wonderful, with Disney Plus coming along as well. And, we've got so many wonderful stories to tell about the kind of work that goes on here. We've been waiting for the right outlet to come along, the right platform, to be able to tell those stories in a meaningful way where they really will get the impact that we want. And this came along much easier than you might imagine. Now, of course, the challenge with this one in particular is that we're talking behind the scenes, as you alluded to. It's just not something we do here. The Walt Disney World experience is very much a carefully curated story, and this is doing it a little differently, it meant going out on a limb to some extent, but we're very excited with how it went, and we're very pleased with the product that viewers are going to be able to see in the next couple of weeks.
Awesome. Excuse me. One of the things that I love about Animal Kingdom is that every time you go, it's always something a little different because you never know what the animals are going to do or what animals will be out and about or they might be out but they're just sleeping, doing what animals do.
Right.
So how fun or challenging was it having them film things when the animals just didn't want to sort of play ball?
Well, that's the beautiful thing, is that we didn't curate the stories and hope the animals would go along with what we wanted. We went out there and filmed what the animals do naturally. That just makes it so much easier. I think the way we tried to do it was to use technology, use different ways of getting the footage, but of course using ways that were not going to impact on the animals at all. So we used drones, we used cameras on cranes, we used boxes inside the exhibit that a camera would be in, much like a camera trap in a forest. And it was really, that created some excitement in itself because, for example, we had the one lion walk up to a box and say, well, that looks really interesting, and promptly bit a hole in it, So it created some great moments as well. But it gave us some amazing footage, underwater footage. The drone footage over the Kilimanjaro safari ride is absolutely stunning. I mean, it just looks like you're in Tanzania. It really is beautiful. So we're very excited with that.
Awesome. Obviously, conservation is a massive thing that Disney gets behind, but it's also a big component of Animal Kingdom. Was there a sort of not a push for it, but like a hope that people will look at what you guys are doing with the animals in the show and help bring that conservation message home to other people in their lives?
Yes, indeed. I'm so glad you picked up on that. I like to think we're telling stories. Filmmaking is all about telling stories, right? And we're telling stories about these amazing animals that we have. We've got incredible people who look after them, and much of what the viewers will see is the relationships between the animals and the keepers that take care of them. At the same time, there's so much passion around protecting those animals, those species in the wild, that we really hope that comes through. You know, to your point, the Disney Conservation Fund is something we're really proud of. You know, we've directed more than $100 million to saving wildlife, inspiring communities to action, and you know, protecting this planet of ours. So we want that to come through. And then on top of all that, you've got the incredible Walt Disney Imagineering team who have got this incredible creative vision that brings those stories to life in a very compelling way. So you wrap all of those together, we feel it's a really exciting package.
No, I personally, I can't wait to see it. So I'm hoping I get some early access to it. With Animal Kingdom being, you know, what was the thing? Not a zoo. Not a zoo, the little thing where they said, this is not a zoo, this is something more. Do you get a chance just to walk the park yourself and just see how people are reacting to what they're seeing and what they're encountering?
I love being out in the park. You know, I'm from South Africa. You can probably hear that, you know, I've got a slightly different accent to my fellow Floridians here. I've from South Africa, so I grew up in the bushveld. I know what the bushveld looks and feels like, and when I walk around here, I feel completely at home. You know, I've been in the USA 8 years now, and truly, I feel like I'm back at home. So it's incredibly accurately reproduced. When I walk through our Maharaja Jungle Trek, you know, I've been to India. I've explored amazing places looking for king cobras and tigers, and you know, and what the story we tell here is so incredibly accurate. It really does feel like you're in the Maharaja's temple, you know, and that's what I love about our opportunity here to tell stories. We're very blessed to have incredible animals, these, you know, this great team of people, and our, you know, very talented Imagineers to weave it all together. You'll notice in the series that we cover some aquatic life as well, because we wanted folks to understand that, you know, it seems easy to develop a close relationship with something cute and furry, you know, and you could imagine people doing that quite readily. But we wanted people to see that it happens with, you know, a person taking care of a stingray, for example, a big stingray, which will come up and do exactly the same medical behaviors, the trained behaviors that something like a porcupine might do. You know, our wonderful animals and the wonderful team at the Seas with Nemo and Friends at Epcot features prominently in the series as well, just to show how that human-animal bond can really be extended across a very wide variety of animals and of species, many of which I'm sure people wouldn't expect.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Seas with Nemo and Friends. I love just taking 5 minutes and just sort of standing there and watching, you know, all the fish in the tanks. I think it's an amazing little place.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and there are great things going on in there that one isn't always aware of, you know. So that's what we like to do is just share the passion that we have for these animals, share the passion for protecting these animals in the wild, and hopefully just showing people things that are really interesting, but not in a, you know, boring lecture kind of fashion. You know, Walt Disney was just the most incredible storyteller, and so we're trying to make him proud.
So obviously, like, the animals are the stars of the park and the stars of the show, but you know, a star is only as good as the people working with them, and obviously in this case it's the cast members that look after the animals. Was there any sort of reaction from the human side of Animal Kingdom when they were told, hey, we're going to start filming a show? Were people excited, or were they like, I didn't know we would be on camera? So what was the reaction there?
You hit it on the head at both. Yes, and you know, a couple of folks immediately said, "Oh my goodness, I just, you know, I'm out of here. I don't even want to be on the property that day you're filming." Whereas others said, "Oh, you know, use me. I'm in." And we managed to get a nice balance. You know, it's always better when people really want to do this kind of work. And you know, there have been many series done with animals and that connection with people, right? I mean, especially, in your country, very famously so, and very well done. And so I think our team has learned to love it. And I think as the series went on and they realized, that really what we're doing is we're filming the animals doing what they're doing. And then we're asking the keepers, why did they do that? And these folks love those animals so much. They take care of them, 24/7. So they just very naturally get into a conversation about how their animal's doing and what they're looking for. An example is that, our animals have got, most people wouldn't realize it, but even the animals out on the Kilimanjaro safari ride, they have air-conditioned bedrooms that they can go into at night if they choose to. And our team encourages them to come in so they can get up close and make sure that everything's okay. And so when they see something that's just a little off, they know it's a little off and they can describe what they're thinking. And that's what we try and have come across in the series. And the team loved doing that.
Awesome. I'm conscious of time here, so the last sort of question that I wanted to ask you was, as someone who is very passionate about animals, I mean, I've seen your thing. You're involved with the Association of Zoos and Aquariums and things like that. Is there any time when you just, even now, still get absolutely awed by what the animals in the park are doing?
Every single day. Yes. There's always something happening, something that's a little different, something that's really special or unusual. We are very lucky here to have some 5,000 animals that we care for, and we've, that is a range of around 300 species. So there's just so much variation. And as much as we study these amazing creatures, we never know everything. And it's fascinating just to see what comes out every day. And that's the beautiful thing about the work that I do, is, I love it, and every day is different.
It's one of the reasons I love Animal Kingdom, because every time I go, even though the rides are the same, but every time I go, there's just something different. It's like a fresh start every time. So
it is indeed. I'm glad you've experienced that. Thank you.
As I said, I'm very conscious of time because I know you probably have more things to do. So I don't really have any other questions. Is there anything that you wanted to say about the show or hope?
Well, thank you for the opportunity. It's great chatting to you, and I'm extremely grateful that we could chat to your listeners and have them hopefully look forward to seeing the series. There have been other series done showing this kind of thing. I encourage you to go and watch this one because it's different. Disney always does things differently, and we have just the most amazing team of people. We're very proud of what we do. We're here to save wildlife and protect the planet, and we'd love folks to tune in and watch to see how we do it. So thank you so much. I hope that was what you had in mind.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Thank you very much, Dr. Mark. I appreciate that.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks for making time, and we look forward to welcoming you to Disney's Animal Kingdom again.
Yes, next year. I'm there next year, I promise you.
Well, please let us know.
I will do. Thank you very much, Dr. Mark. Have a good day.